as civilians, we have the right to bear arms, and that is the Second Amendment. Hello everybody. Today is more of a serious video as terrorism strikes the US. Obama has given a speech about his decision to increase gun laws as if they weren't already present enough. Obama speaks saying that all Americans are going against Congress and want more gun laws. All Americans? Well, this American doesn't, and I'm very American. Listening to his speech, I was very angry. Obama, I have the right to bear arms. It is the Second Amendment, and it is my right as a citizen. Obama is a communist who believes he can make executive orders. He is turning the people against the Congress, which, the Congress are stupid, but beside the point, he is not allowed to make executive decisions over the Congress unless they have passed it. That is the reason we are not a dictatorship, because if he gets to make all decisions and the Congress doesn't get a say, then that's a dictatorship. He's one person. America is about making sure that the majority of people agree and it is passed for that reason. It goes through 3 different houses to make sure that it is agreed upon. Obama does get the final say, but he needs to make sure that Congress agrees as well. So he cannot make executive decisions over them because that is dictatorship and we are turning into Hitler over here, okay? So I have a quote from Obama. He says, "Once Congress gets on board with common sense on gun safety measures, we can reduce gun violence a whole lot more." Well, there's a lot wrong with that. Increasing gun laws actually will not decrease violence. On average, 34,000 gun deaths happen each year. That is not a number to be proud of, but when you look at statistics, 27,000 of those 34,000 gun deaths are gang related. It is not accidental. It is not the fault of kids. It's not something that we can control, really. Gang related fights are not a problem we can solve by ruining it for the rest of us. If I want to go shoot a deer, then I want to go shoot a deer, and that's food for me. If I want to protect myself, if a burglar comes in my room, if a gang member comes in my room and tries to kill me, I want a gun underneath my bed so that I can shoot him and kill him. I need to defend myself against gangs, because even if you get rid of gun laws, gang members are still gonna get guns. You ban drugs, people are still gonna get drugs. That's just how it works. Prohibition, alcohol was gone rid of. There was underground parties and people got alcohol. It's a simple thing. You tell somebody not to do something and they will do it. It's not innocent civilians dying. It's people who are involved in gangs, involved in killings, involved in messed up ways of living, involved in drugs. It's bad people killing bad people. Obama says another quote, "Until we have Congress that's in line with the majority of Americans," not true, "there are actions we can take within my legal authority," not true, you're not a dictator, "that we can take to help reduce gun violence and save more lives." You want to save criminals who would like to do drugs? Okay. Actions that protect our rights and our children. First of all, our rights are to bear arms. On average, 411 children die from gun deaths every year, 0 to 18. 10 of those are accidental. The other 401 are suicides. It is not accidental that is the problem. More kids get killed in car accidents than they do with guns. It's not that hard to enforce gun safety. When you clean a gun, you do not have bullets in it. When a gun is in a safe or in a case or locked, you do not put bullets in it. It is empty all the time unless you are carrying it on your person or unless you are in the woods with that gun. It is proven that if you drop a gun, the trigger will not go off. You have to forcefully pull the trigger. It is not that easy to pull the trigger. You have to put force on it and you have to be aiming it at somebody. You can't accidentally shoot a gun. Out of all the hundreds of thousands of Americans in the US, it is not easy to accidentally kill somebody. You don't clean it with bullets in it, and I know there's been cases where a father has been cleaning his gun and his 2-year-old sitting right there. Well, you don't clean your gun in front of a 2-year-old. You can clean your gun in front of a 10-year-old if you're trying to teach them how to clean a gun, but you don't do that. It's not that hard to, it's so easy to resist killing somebody. You don't need to kill somebody. A gun is completely safe as long as you follow the guidelines. The other problem is most gun deaths happen, some happen because of murders and some happen because of mass shootings. But you know how many people on average die in a mass shooting? Four. It's not an issue. The issue is gangs. The issue is mental illness. More people kill themselves with guns than accidental deaths because of guns. So maybe we should fix the mentally ill, as Donald Trump says. We need to focus on the mentally ill, not on gun laws. It is not going to help if you increase gun laws, because then that will make innocent civilians harder to protect themselves. You want to protect me? Let me have my own weapon. Obama has several steps that he wants to pursue with the gun issue. I guess it's an issue. He says, step 1. Anybody in the business of selling firearms must get a license and conduct background checks. Do you know how long it takes to buy a gun? They have to make sure you have your license, your gun license, whatever. They have to do a background check on you. They have to make sure that you are allowed to own a gun. It takes a long time. It's not an underground drug cartel where they're selling random guns. He doesn't even know what he's talking about, clearly. And the other thing is, when you buy a gun, they walk you out of the store. You are not allowed to carry the gun out. They have to walk you to the door. They do go through safety precautions. This is a good one. Too often, people are not getting the protection they need. Oh. No, everybody should have a gun. If you are a criminal, forget it. You can't have a gun. If you would like to protect yourself and you have no criminal background, you want to be safe, you want to protect you, your spouse, your children, whatever, you should have the right to easily have a gun. If you do have nothing wrong, if you go through the procedures of getting a gun license, if you go through procedures of practicing shooting, you figure out what gun you want, that's fine. You should be able to protect yourself with a gun. If we can set it up so you can't unlock your phone unless you got the right fingerprint, why can't we do the same thing for guns? No, we don't need that. Have you ever tried to unlock your phone with your fingerprint? It usually works. I'm saying it usually works. Have you ever tried to unlock your phone with your fingerprint and it doesn't work? Sometimes you gotta turn it off, you gotta turn it. It takes a few minutes, you gotta try all different fingers. It doesn't always work. And the problem with guns is that it will have malfunctioning processes and it will not always work. So when a grizzly bear is charging at me, I need to take out that gun and the fingerprint's going, I'm dead. Hello. Are we gonna collect all the guns and then give everybody new guns with the fingerprint thing? No, you can't do that. Maybe you can do it on new guns, but that will take a long time to filter out the old guns. And people are gonna wanna keep their Russian Revolutionary War guns. It's statistically not going to work. It does not make sense, just like you. And I could tell all the people are like clapping, whoa, yeah! They're all Democrats, okay? The problem with Obama talking about guns is I highly doubt he shot a gun in his life. I highly doubt he owns a gun. It's the people who are trying to pass these gun laws that don't know what they're talking about. Many people who are talking about these guns and saying like, oh, this is a dangerous gun. They have no idea what they're talking about. They've never shot that gun. They don't know the mechanics of that gun. I don't think Obama should be passing these gun laws if he doesn't know what it's like to have a gun. I mean, maybe he does, but I highly doubt it because the way he talks about guns, it's like these big evil things, but it's not. You can't physically die unless there are three things you need to happen to be murdered by a gun. It needs to have bullets in it. So you have to forcefully put bullets in it. You need to be pointing the gun at somebody. You have to cock it. You have to pull the trigger. As I said before, you do not drop a gun and it goes off. It does not work that way. The gun does not physically fall apart. So it's got to be loaded. You got to aim it. You got to cock it. You got to pull the trigger. It's just not that easy to kill somebody with a gun. I mean, it is, but it's not accidentally easily. You can't just go like, whoop, fling your gun around and then it goes off. It just doesn't happen. They should care about a product that now kills as many Americans as car accidents. Really? Because I'm pretty sure only 10 kids die every year, which is absolutely terrible and should not be accepted. But it's not, it's his argument that is wrong. He is saying that we need to protect our kids, we need to protect innocent civilians, but the thing is innocent civilians are literally 1% of gun deaths. The 80% that make up gun deaths are gang related. It's gang on gang. It's bad people versus bad people. It's not good civilians. It's not hardworking civilians. It's drug cartels and gangs and bad people and criminals, and it's those people that are killing each other, and that's why the statistic is so high. Yes, I admit, the statistics are true. It is the same amount of car accident deaths as gun deaths, but it's technically not, because innocent children are being killed in car accidents, and gang members are being killed by gun deaths. It's just not realistic. Obama says towards the end of the speech, it's not that complicated, pointing this to Congress, assuming that all Americans believe what he's saying, but it's not true, because I, as an American, as a young American, I believe that if you have good intentions to own a gun, then you should be able to own a gun. You want to shoot a deer, you want to shoot a bear, you want to shoot a moose, whatever you want to shoot, you want to kill it, you want to eat it, you want to use it, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your kids, your spouse, your family, whatever. You should be able to own a gun. I don't think that getting rid of guns is going to solve anything. I think that we need to focus on criminals. I think we need to focus on gangs and drug cartels, and I think that we need to focus on the mentally ill, because the majority of that 7,000 left that each year die from gun deaths are suicides, and it's unfortunate, and we need to focus on making mental institutions better for people and more comfortable, and focus on how can we change the way people think and make them feel better about themselves and make them love themselves and make them realize that they have a purpose on this earth. That should be our focus. We should be focusing on people feeling good and people feeling happy and people being good civilians. We should not be focusing on, oh, a gun means death. No, that's not what it means. It means protection. It means safety. It means our rights. We have the right to bear arms. As civilians, we have the right to bear arms, and that is the Second Amendment, and you can't go against that, okay? Obama, you are being a communist leader at the moment, saying, oh, I have the executive power, and I'm going to use my authority to go against this, but that's not your authority. You need to listen to the people, because it's not all Americans that want guns away. I mean, there are a huge majority of people, especially gun salesmen. According to Obama, you shouldn't be able to sell a gun without a dealer's permit. So I have a gun, I want to get a new one, I want to get an upgrade. I can't sell my gun. I'm stuck with that gun. Or I could give it to the store for 10% of what I got it. Like, that's just not realistic, and I think that Obama needs to see it a different way than, oh, guns mean shooting. Like, you need to look at the statistics and see that the majority of people who are dying are not innocent civilians. They are the mentally ill, they are the criminals, they are the gang members, they are the violent killers. I think that he needs to see that, and I think that many people are unaware of this because they hear him, they don't know about guns, they don't look at the statistics, and they don't realize that what he's saying is not true. They just see, oh, innocent children got killed. That is a terrible thing. There should not be a school shooting with first graders in it. That is absolutely unexplainable, and I don't know who would do that, but that's why we need to focus on the mentally ill and the criminals. We don't need to focus on the guns, because guns are not dangerous, and guns are what protect us. That was a long rant, and I apologize, but I needed to get that off my chest, because as a strong, independent woman, I have the right to do so, and I have the opinionated voice. I would love to hear in the comments what you guys have to say about gun laws, what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong. If you are disagreeing with me, I would love to hear your opinion. And I think that everybody has an opinion, but my opinion is very strong, and this is just how I feel. I feel that guns are good, guns are used for protection, and I don't think that the guns are the problem. I think the person behind the gun is the problem. Please leave comments down below letting me know if you agree with me, if you disagree, what your thoughts on guns are, if you like Obama, if you like communism, and also in the description box, go follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, I almost said Facebook. Bye!